The Force Awakens. Have you seen it yet, Albert?
Oh, man, I can't even tell you how frustrated I am that I have not seen this film yet.
Oh, wow. It's making box office history.
It is, and it's like a pilgrimage for me, right? Because I remember 1977. I was at a theater in Janif, sitting in the front row.
Wow.
And the screen started scrolling the intro. And my life was never the same after that.
Wow.
That's how powerful and what an impact it had on me as a kid.
That's powerful.
I remember that exact moment. It's like right now, 42 years old, transported back. I was 1977 when it came out or something like that. I was 4.
Wow. 4 years old.
4 years old.
Well, hey, we want to take a moment to welcome you to the Heart2Hartley podcast. We're glad that you're here once again for episode number 5. And we are ready to take on the next topic of discussion, which is related to Star Wars. So
it is related.
Let's connect some dots here. What's going on?
It's good to have everybody. I'm Albert Hartley. Glad to be speaking with everybody today. So there's this phenomenon of recycling things, right? So The Force Awakens came out December 17th. I was so excited. Life got in the way. There was a time in my life when I would just have, put everything aside and I'd have been there, right? My eldest daughter went on opening night and she calls me. She goes, "It was so incredible," right? And she doesn't remember how incredible the first one was, right? And so I want to talk about this because it is a unique phenomenon in our culture. That the generational connectivity, that particular piece of art, and I do call it art because of the different mediums that it pulls together, what it does for people. Because what's interesting about it is it's extremely moral. That whole thing is a morality play.
Oh, yeah. It's very clear.
And in every other aspect of our life, from keeping up with the Kardashians to all the other trash that's on TV, we avoid morality plays. We don't want to be told right and wrong.
Yeah.
Except for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right?
It's interesting.
And what we will do, we will submit to that and use it almost in a religious-like situation. I mean, trust me, part of me doesn't want to see it because I don't want to be disappointed. I mean, literally, I probably think about that 5 or 6 times a day of going to this film. I want to see this film. And I think, what other type of culture, right, has this type of powerful impact that it change? People were taking their kids like, look, this is what it is, right?
Right.
The expectation around it. They sold $100 million worth of tickets before it ever was
before
seen.
It released, yeah.
And that's not a nerd population. That's around the culture. You think about it, right? The 2 lead characters, which I think are really cool, an African-American male and a female.
Yep.
How cool is that? I think that's really important because I think for too long it's always been a 1950s Mad Men mentality around here. So we're adding some culture to that. It's really unique and diversity that's powerful without sacrificing the principles of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea that there's a dark side to the Force, right?
Yeah. I think the first films were pretty much defined by Darth Vader.
Mm. Yeah.
Totally.
And the ones in between never picked up the same part of it, right? Because I think it was trying to explain away the divisions. Or you don't want to see how the sausage is made. You just want to eat the sausage, right? And so they have these things like, well, we're going to go back and look at the... No, we don't want to look back. We want to assume where we are and then move forward. And so this one, I think, picks up where everybody's been left. So I think the title is very apt, The Force Awakens, because it's been sleeping.
Yeah.
But I really believe these things have the power to change the way people interact and to bring them together. And so I don't think you can make enough of it, frankly. I mean, you're talking about a movie that's going to gross probably $1 billion worldwide, which that's a lot of $10 tickets, by the way.
I think it'd be more than that. I think they're already getting close.
And I think you have to ask yourself, why does it have such a powerful impact? And why is it so relevant? Well, I think people want natural truth.
Yeah.
I think they want to know there's a right and a wrong.
Yeah.
And not to dork completely out, but Milton used to say that there's always a right and wrong. We just don't work through the gray enough to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And in our culture, I think that's really becoming true, right? We are able to mask all these things But then we see a piece of work like Star Wars, and we say, no, there's a good and there's evil.
Yeah, I think even George Lucas, when he was experiencing all that success in the early 80s, he hit on that. And I can remember reading some quotes of his saying that it really feels good to have the good side win. And, that's what you see over and over. The last scene of the movies is just this big victorious thing.
Right, and I think it's important that we remind ourselves the good does win, right? I mean, that's the great thing about being on the right side and finding the truth. It'll set you free, number one. And that Star Wars is really about freedom. It's about sloughing off oppression. It's about finding and camaraderie. It's all the things in our culture we tend to not really value, right? Teamwork, camaraderie, sacrifice. Okay, these are things now that are looked down upon like, get yours. You better get yours.
Right.
No, Star Wars is the exact opposite. And I think that people want to see that in a context that makes sense for them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in our day-to-day life that makes sense anymore because I'm not sure we're rewarding those who are sacrificing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, we can do this in the first responder stuff. That's easy, right? That's an identifiable sacrifice, right? Or soldiers. We see that with, that's a sacrifice. But we sometimes with teachers, with mothers, with fathers, those types of sacrifice, the little things. And not to sound crazy, but when I go to Starbucks every morning almost, okay? And the little civilities between people, black people, white people, Asian people, the civilities, picking up the paper for someone, holding the door for someone, that still happens every day. So I think what's happening for me, the Star Wars is just a affirmation that our media would love us to think that the world is dominated by the bad. That's just not true.
That's right.
The light always beats the darkness.
Yeah, but the darkness sells more newspapers.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's why when you talk about Star Wars, the weapon of choice is what? It's the lightsaber, right? Lucas is tapping into that. So I'm going to see it, but it's like a reverent mission and quest for me. I don't want to. I just want to be like, okay, everybody be quiet. Let me just sit there by myself. You
better wait for the DVD.
And I just want to go and be like in the right spot. Don't want to be. No one talk.
Yeah.
Right. And that same sort of reverence of what it was like to be 4 years old watching that movie, the realize the world had changed. That movie at 1977 was like, oh, this is a different world now. In 2015, the world is different. And to see something that is traditional and still timeless, that gives people hope, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, The Force Awakens. I will when I see it, I'll come back and I'll just fawn all over it. Probably.
Yeah, you could do a movie review.
I'll do a review.
From the reviews that I've read, no spoilers allowed here. The reviews that I've read have said that it is strikingly similar to the very first film that came out.
Right. Well, that's a good plan. I mean, I think J.J. Abrams. I read an article with him in Wired magazine, and he talked about the sense of responsibility to the movie and the fans.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, I never thought about that. But I mean, that's a game changer. Some people would not want that responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if you screw it up.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas screwed up the first two, but he could screw it up because it's his. Right? He can tweak it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna throw him to the side. But he's not directing this film.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting idea that at some point you can't continue doing what you've always done. And you have to move on and let someone else have something to add to it. So there's a lesson there. So I'm excited about seeing it.
Okay. Well, let us know what you think.
We will.
And so we want to wrap it up for this time. We want to make sure to remind you to please get in contact with us. You can send us an email at heart2hartley@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, leave comments there. Every page has a place that you can comment. You can also connect to us with social networks, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+. We're on all of those. And especially want to ask you to please leave some ratings and reviews on iTunes so we can get more subscriptions through there. We would appreciate that, and we think that we hope that you are enjoying these podcast episodes. And so until next time, I'm Adam Dragoon.
And I'm Albert Hartley. Happy New Year.
And may the force be with you. Hey there, this is Adam from the Heart2Hartley podcast. Wanted to just give you a quick update about something that we are launching very soon. Albert Hartley has recorded some very powerful instructional videos that we're going to be releasing on Vimeo. These are going to be on-demand videos, and what that means is you'll be able to rent or buy them either separately or as a total package. And so we're getting very, very excited about this product. We think that this will be useful for so many people in so many different scenarios. And so we want to ask you to begin taking a look at that. If you will go to our website, heart2hartley.com, and you look over on the top right side of that page, you'll find a link for all these instructional videos. And so these are going to be launching. They're going to be available for pre-order, which means if you purchase them now, you can get a great price. You're going to get them at a deep discount, much cheaper than they will be after we release them. Big release day is going to be January 15th. And so keep that in mind. We'd ask you to go check out our website, heart2hartley.com. And again, the promotional videos are going to be up in the top right-hand corner of the page. And so if you would check those out, check out our promotional price. It is only available in this pre-order period. So we want to ask you to go check those out, and we would appreciate your support. Thanks again from Heart2Hartley Podcast.